Hello everyone, my name is Sam Johnson and you are on SJ's classes.
This video lesson, we will be discussing Dr. Samuel Johnson's literary critic that we have to confront as part of this module is William of which is known as partial tradition and the other as the Manipravalam. A short introduction to the English novelist, journalist, essayist and critic. The two of the most popular Greek critics, Plato and Aristotle, is considered as a representative of the Greek era in Malayalam. That is a folklore mythological story that is being referred to here.
I hope all of you are fine and that you are taking good care of your health as well as that of your families. Now, for BA English students under the University of Kerala, we have progressed much with respect to your paper art and literary aesthetics. We completed module 1. We discussed Herbert Reed's essay, The Meaning of Art. We discussed Delacroix's painting, Liberty Leading the People, Coleridge's poem, Destruction of the Bastille. We also discussed D.G. Rossetti's painting Proserpine and also the sonnet which is connected to it. Then we discussed Amrita Shergill's painting, Ancient Storyteller, and we wound up module 1 with Virginia Woolf's novel, The Waves. Now it's time to move on to module 2. Have you ever come across this name, Edvard Munch, the Norwegian painter? Or perhaps you would have come across this title for sure, The Scream, but obviously not through the painting, but perhaps through the movie series, Scream 1, 2, 3. Now this painting, which is titled The Scream, was painted by the Norwegian painter Edvard Munch. Now if you were someone who were majoring in painting, or if you had widely read about the era called modernist era in literature, or if you were into movements like symbolism, expressionism, etc., then perhaps you would have definitely came across this name, Edvard Munch. Now today, through this video lesson, I intend to discuss the painting, The Scream, which was painted by Edvard Munch. And here is a short introduction to this Norwegian painter. Edvard Munch is a Norwegian-born expressionist painter. He was born on 12 December 1863 in Norway and he died on 23rd January 1944 at Oslo, which is the capital and largest city of Norway. His paintings greatly influenced movements like symbolism and expressionism. Now, these were artistic and literary movements that originated during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. What the artists connected with symbolism did was they tried to express individual emotional experience through the subtle and aggressive use of highly symbolized language. And what artists connected with expressionism did was they tried to record the subjective emotions and responses that objects and events aroused within a person. So that is a kind of methodology that artists connected with both these movements adopted. Munch showed a flair for drawing at an early age but received little formal training. It was the Christiania Bohème, which is a circle of writers and artists in Christiania. Christiania was the old name of Oslo. So it was the Christiania Bohème that developed the artist in him. One of the older painters in the circle, Christian Krogh, gave Munch both instruction and encouragement in this regard. Munch began his artistic career as a student of this Norwegian painter called Christian Krogh. He mostly explored the themes of love, death and suffering through works like The Kiss, Melancholy, The Voice, Madonna, Jealousy, ashes, death in the sick room, etc. The violent emotion and unconventional imagery of his paintings, especially their daringly frank representation of sexuality, created a bitter controversy. He passed away in 1944, and upon his death at the age of 80, the authorities discovered behind locked doors on the second floor of his house a collection of 1008 paintings, 4443 drawings, and 15,391 prints, as well as woodcuts, etchings, lithographs, lithographic stones, woodcut blocks, copper plates, and photographs. So it's an entire asset that he left behind. All these were donated to the Norwegian government, and the government later built the Munch Museum of Art to commemorate his work, his life, and the generosity which he showed in passing his artwork over to the government so that it could be enjoyed by the general public rather than be kept locked up by the family. So that's a short introduction to Edvard Munch. Now, an analysis of the painting, the Scream. This particular painting was made in 1893 and it is considered as an icon of modern art. The agonized face in the painting, which you can see on the screen, has become one of the most iconic images of art, which is seen as symbolizing the anxiety of human condition. Edvard Munch made two oil paintings, two pastels, and numerous prints of this image. The various renditions show the artist's creativity and his interest in experimenting with the possibilities to be obtained across an array of media. So he did not confine himself to the two oil paintings that he made. He also made two pastels and also numerous prints of the image. The painting is part of a series of paintings entitled The Frieze of Life. Now, Frieze of Life is a series of paintings that he made from the 1890s onwards, and these paintings deal with the themes of love, illness, death, etc. This painting, which is titled The Scream, depicts a vision that he had as he walked one evening in his youth with two friends at the sunset. It consists of three main areas: the bridge, which extends at a steep angle from the right bottom to left middle. Then you have a landscape of shoreline, lake or fjord. Fjord is a long, narrow inlet of the sea between steep cliffs, and this is something which you commonly find in Norway. So you have a landscape of shoreline, lake or fjord, and hills. And the third area is the sky, which is activated with curving lines in tones of orange, yellow, red, and blue-green. In the middle, you find a panic-stricken creature which simultaneously looks like a corpse and also which is reminiscent of a fetus. The painting also portrays two figures who seem to be moving away to the left. So what does this painting represent? Now, an excerpt from Edvard Munch's diary, talks more about this particular painting. Now, on 22nd January 1892, he wrote these lines. I was walking down the road with two friends when the sun set. Suddenly, the sky turned as red as blood. I stopped and leaned against the fence, feeling unspeakably tired. Tongues of fire and blood stretched over the bluish black fjord. My friends went on walking while I lagged behind, shivering with fear. Then I heard the enormous infinite scream of nature. So, through this particular diary entry, Munch describes what initially sounds like a relaxing summer evening in Norway. And Munch was taking a leisurely walk at dusk with two of his friends by the water. Now, while watching a vivid sunset, which in normal circumstances might seem to be very much relaxing and enjoyable, now for Munch, this particular occasion turned into a haunting moment of extreme existential crisis. In what sounds like a panic attack, Munch is overwhelmed by feelings of exhaustion while also struck by an almost violent wave of anxiety. So he was feeling tired and anxious at the same time. Now, art critics say that in the manner of a true expressionist, Munch uses bright colors and bold strokes to express his chaotic emotional state in that moment. It is in this sense that the art historians say that the figure in the screen, which is the painting, may be a kind of self portrait of the artist. Now, there are also other interpretations which have been given by art historians to this particular painting. Art historians, they have attempted to give other meanings to this work of art. For example, it has been asserted that the unnaturally harsh colors of the sky may have been due to volcanic dust from the eruption of Krakatoa in Indonesia, which produced spectacular sunsets around the world for months afterwards. This event occurred in 1883, 10 years before Munch painted the first version of the screen. So the sky, or the unnaturally harsh colors used in the sky, may be symbolic of this particular eruption that happened in Indonesia. Art historians have also noted the figure's resemblance, the figure, which is actually, giving out a scream. So its resemblance to a Peruvian mummy that had been exhibited at the World's Fair in Paris in 1889. So this particular artifact, it said that this particular artifact also influenced the symbolist painter Paul Gauguin. And art historians have also tried to connect this particular figure to a mummy which was displayed in Florence in Italy. So these are some of the other interpretations that we come across while we read about this painting titled The Scream. So I hope you have an understanding regarding this painting as well as its painter. Thank you so much for watching this video lesson. I will see you in another video lesson. Thank you.